programming functions. Like, so you can create your own functions.
Hello, good morning to all. Sorry for late.
Yeah, no problem, Ravi.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah, so we would like to go for talk about Python functions. It's a very important, guys. So when you are building a program, or when you want to write some kind of automation, and the same task, if you want to do that multiple times within the same program or same situation, different situations, okay, and so this functions will help you a lot. Okay, so you can create your own functions, and you can create your own logic as a function as well. Okay, that everything we will see by this particular session. So let me launch. Oh, it's already launched. Okay. Okay. So localhost. Go to your specific files. And yeah, let me go for create new Python 3. And so give the heading is it's a Python functions. Okay, so coming to this particular Python functions, so my first question is, what is function? So can anyone tell me what exactly the function?
Set of action can be reusable.
Yes, that's correct. So we can collect some kind of statements, or set of statements, a set of statements or collection of statements that we can reuse in the same program. Okay, that we are calling the same functions. Okay, so basically these are the functions are two types. How many types?
Okay.
So two types of functions we can implement it in any programming language. The first one is the predefined functions. Predefined functions, and second one is the user defined functions. I will tell you what exactly the difference between these two things. But before that one, whether it is a predefined function, whether it is a user defined function, a function should have at least two components. How many components?
Two components. Okay.
What are those? First one is the
Body declaration.
so function definition. Thiru, actually, I'm getting some settings from you. Can you please mute your system? Yeah. So function definition, and second one is the function call. Okay. So function definition means, so the logic we have to write as a some group of statement. You already said, right? It's a function means that it is a set of statements, right? This set of statements we have to write in a function definitions that we can call it a body of the function. Okay, body or else a set of statements. So simply you can say that statements, a set of statements. Okay, but one thing you have to understand, this function definition, it won't execute it without any function call. Okay, function definition, we are just implemented the function, but it won't execute it without any function call. So what exactly the use of the function call? To performing the function definition, to execute the function definition. Okay, function call will do that, function definition will be executed. Clear, right? Clear or not? So function definition means it's just a collection of statements, but it won't execute it without any function call. So without function call, even you are implemented the function definition, there is no use. Okay, but whenever you want to use the function definition, make sure that we have to use the function call only. Okay, so coming to this particular predefined function, so the predefined function also, so it may have the function definition and it have the function call, but this function definition which is already implemented already in Python. So this particular function definition which is already implemented inside of the Python programming language, but this function call, okay, so this function call, programmer has to write it. So programmer, whenever you want to be execute the function definition, predefined function definition, so with the help of the function call, we can use that particular function. Okay, coming to this particular user defined function in the sense, both function definition, function call, both are implemented by the programmer only. Is it clear or not? Okay, so let me have some kind of example for the predefined functions. Let me have some kind of examples for the predefined functions. Input function, print function, okay, id function. These are all functions are, we are just use it, right? Yes or no, Ravi?
Yeah, yes.
So this all
Correct.
function, this all predefined functions we already seen in a second class itself. Okay.
Exactly.
Now we are talking about the user defined function actually. User defined function in the sense we have to go for implemented our own function as well as we have to call that particular function whenever you want it. Clear?
Okay.
So the syntax for the function definition is, even it is the predefined, the syntax is same. Even it is a user defined, the syntax is same. But the only thing is that the function definition which is already existed inside of the Python program, that we are calling it a predefined function, but we have implemented our own function definition that we are calling it a user defined function. So when we are implementing the user defined function definition, we have to use the def keyword and followed by the function name. So here the function name, it's a user defined function name. You can give it any name actually. Okay. And it can receive it may receive some inputs. That inputs we are calling it same arguments. Argument 1 and argument 2 and argument 3 and so on. You may have the n number of arguments, we can receive it by the time of function call. Okay, so def is a keyword and followed by the function definition and zero number of arguments in the sense no arguments. If you have only one argument, we can give the only one name. If you want to access the two argument, that means the function it has to take the two inputs, then we can use the two arguments. The function it can take the three arguments, we can defining the three arguments. Okay, and the meanwhile if we want to receive the 100 arguments, we can defining the 100 arguments at function definition. And you already know that it's a set of statements, right? Function definition means it's a set of statements. The set of statements in the sense it can performing the any one of the tasks, that all statements we have to write in a program. Okay, but we have one optional keyword, which is the return keyword. This return keyword will help you to return from this function definition to the function call. Okay, what is the use of the return? To return from definition to call.
But this is not mandatory, right?
This is not mandatory whenever you want it, but if even without this thing also, it can return to the function call only. But intentionally, if you want to return to the function call, okay, then we can use that return. I will show you that examples as well. Okay, function definition to
Okay.
function call. And by the time of returning, you can transfer the data. Basically, when we can use the return in a two situation, one is for returning the function definition to function call, that is the one thing. And second thing is that you can send the some data, we can transfer, or we can we can send the data, any data. It can be string or it can be float, any data. Actually, you can send the data from function definition to function call. Okay, if you want to terminate the function definition, okay, so instead of returning, you can say terminate. Okay, terminate means what? Terminate in the sense we are stopping execution of the function definition. Okay, to terminate the function definition, or else we can send the, or we can return the some data from function definition to function call. These two things will do by the return keyword. Okay, def is the keyword, it can help you to create the function. Okay, so how we can use the function call? Function call means just we can use the function name and open parenthesis and a closed parenthesis. For example, if you are sending the three arguments, so we have to give you the three data elements. This is data 1, okay, this is data 2, this is data 3, and so on. If you are sending some data from function call to function definition, we can use the arguments. So these are the arguments. This data 1 will be storing into the argument 1, this data 2 will be holding into the argument 2, this data 3 which is holding into the argument 3. So this is the way we can transfer the data from function call to function definition, as well as we can send the data from function definition to function call with help of the return keyword. Is it clear?
Yeah, yes.
So take it this syntax. This is the syntax only we are going to be using, whenever you are going to be defining any kind of user defined functions. If it is done, let's do a small program. Write a program, print hello, okay, whenever I want. Simple thing, or print hello, not print hello, just do a small program. Write a program, find, write a program for addition. Small program only. Okay, so here I'm going to defining the function. So when you're defining the function, make sure that you give the appropriate names. The reason is that any new beginner, any new software engineer or fresher, he joined your company as a team member. Okay, so by the time he can look the program and he can understand without any knowledge. Okay, so that give the appropriate names, it can help you to create the a beautiful document as well. So def addition, and so it can receive the addition means it must be have the two arguments, right? So it can receive the two arguments, and argument 1 is the a and argument 2 is the b. Okay, And so here I can do the addition. What is the addition formula? A plus B, right? And then
Mm.
I want to return the C. Okay, this is the function definition. This is addition function definition. So here what happens, whenever I called the addition function, whenever I called the addition function, it can receive the two arguments A and B. Okay, it can do the addition and the result will be holding into the one variable, and the variable we can send it. That means the result of addition of two numbers, it can be written the wherever addition function is called. Okay, and so you can create the one function. It can help you to understand the program in effective manner. So this is the main function. You can defining the one more user defined function. Guys, in Python programming language, you don't have any kind of main function. Okay, in C programming language, the entry point, it could be the main, but in Python programming language, we don't have any kind of entry functions directly, which is executing from the statement one onwards. Okay, but when you're writing the program in a professional manner, then we have to write in a blocks wise. Okay, so that this is the one block, this means this is additional block, and the meanwhile main block we have it. From the main block I can create, or I can call the multiple other functions, or else I can take the some inputs, that it could be the best practice. Okay,
Yeah.
and so here I have the two inputs. One is the in x, and I'm taking the some number x, number. Okay, and meanwhile I would like to go for enter the, okay, y value or y number. So enter y number. So when you are entering the x and y, okay, this is the one variable and this is one variable. That means x is the one data and y is the one data. I want to send this x data and y data to this addition function. Simply what I can do, I just copy this one. I can write over here, and instead of sending the x, I can send, sorry, I can send the x. Instead of sending the y, I can send the, instead of sending the b, I can send the y. So what exactly this meaning? So what data you entered from the keyboard, that it will be holding into the x. What data we are holding into the y, that it will be holding into the x y variable. And you're calling the addition function, so that the execution will be goes here. Okay, the execution will be goes here, and so which is taking the x will be assigning to the y, and y will be assigning to the b, and the result of a plus b will be holding into the c. The result of c, which is returning from the return keyword, when which is returning, it has to holding into any one of the variable, right? So here res is one variable. This res variable will be holding the result of this particular c value. Okay, and I want to print the, I want to print the x value, and I want to print the y value, and I want to print the result value. See guys, I am trying to execute this particular program. You won't get any output. Why? I executed, but I'm not get any kind of output. Why? Because of main is also one user defined function. You are not called this function, so that these are the statements are not executed. So what you can do, you can call the main function. Okay, but when you're calling the main function, that is not a good practice. You can create one block. So underscore underscore name, this is the one attribute. It's a function attribute, a file attribute. This file attribute which always holding in the underscore underscore main underscore underscore. So here underscore underscore name underscore underscore is the one file attribute. This default file attribute which always holding a string, the name of the string is underscore underscore main underscore underscore main. So this is always true. This is the condition is always true. Why it is true? Because of this file attribute or the file attribute variable which is holding the this string only, so that which is always no, when you are comparing with these two things, you will be getting the true. This condition will be true. When this condition is true, what the statements you are returning inside of the if, so the statements can be executed. So the execution will be starts from here. I mean, it was right executing from the first onwards, but these are the function definitions so that which are not executed. And but here this is the 41 statement is the if condition. This is the true. Once it is true, which is calling the main function. Once the main function is called, then the execution goes to the 36th statement. By the 36th statement, we have the 37, 38, 39 statements are executed. By the time of 39 statement, again addition function is called. Once addition function is called, the cursor, the execution goes to here, 33 statement and 34 statement executed, 35 statement executed successfully. Once perfectly the function definition executed completely, then which is back to the where it is called. It was receiving the x data and y data. It is doing that addition, and the result will be holding into the this res variable. Again the execution will be 39 statement. So the 39 statement holding into the 39 res variable holding into the some data, result of addition of a and b, and the 40 statement executed successfully. Once the first 40 statement executed successfully, I don't have any statement inside of this particular function, so that it the main function also can be terminated automatically, so that where it is called, it is back to that one. So again it is got goes to the 42 statement. 40, after the 42 statement we don't have anything, so that the entire program has been executed successfully. This is the way the entire program execution of this particular program. So for more understanding, I can execute this one in Visual Studio so that you can easily understood. So entire program. Oh, I don't have Visual Studio.
Here small doubt only.
Yeah.
See here in the if block, you have written underscore name function, and then you equalize with the
Hmm.
underscore main.
Yeah.
Here, the function name you have started with the main of. But if I supposed to write a different name
Yeah,
instead
you
of
can.
main,
No problem. You can give the
you
addition
can.
also.
Okay. But the same name instead of main underscore main, I should give that function name.
No. So this underscore mean underscore
Yeah.
underscore, which always be a condition is this one only. Okay. But instead of the main here, the 46 statement, instead of main, we can directly give the addition. That's not a problem. So this main function, which is not depending on this condition.
Suppose in the definition you have written with main of, right?
Hmm.
Suppose I have given the different name there instead of main. Then in the if condition, what should I do there?
If
Still, I
condition
should
is
give
same. If
underscore main
condition is
only.
constant. If condition is constant. For example,
Okay, okay,
main 3 I given here. Okay. You have to give
okay,
it here. But if condition, it won't change.
okay, yeah. Okay, understood.
Now you
Understood.
got it.
Yeah, I got it, got it.
Okay. So here. So this is the condition, and this underscore main and here on main both are not same. Okay, this underscore main is the one string. This string always be this underscore main, and which is default value of this underscore name underscore. So that I am intentionally writing this condition, or else we can directly give that true. Okay.
Okay,
By
okay,
default,
understood,
it will be
understood.
returns the true only, but instead of writing the
Mhm.
true, indirectly I am writing the true. Okay.
So
Instead
we
of
need
writing,
one true statement. So
yes,
that's why they wrote that
yes,
condition.
that's correct. That's correct. Clear, right?
Okay, fine, understand.
So note this program.
Yes.
Hmm? 8:30, sorry, 9 kal. Hmm. 9, 9, 5, 9, 10 ka time. Done. So note this program. This is very very important, guys. So even hacker rank programs also you might be getting this kind of structure only.
Yes, yes. Each and every program I have seen. This is the first line for them.
Hmm. The only reason just to starting point, but it is not exactly starting point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean execution. I'm telling execution starting point. Every time I get it.
Execution starting point is the first statement onwards. But as a programmer, we know that, okay, where we need to start execution. That's the reason we are given these statements. So without main function, without addition, without this if blocks, we can write the program. That's not a problem. But we are the programmers. We guys are little bit of intelligence than the machine, so that we can write the program in an effective manner, and we have to write also. Amir, oh, I forgot him. Amir, actually, I changed the time 30 minutes earlier. Sorry, I have not updated you. I forgot your number. Hello, Amir. Amir, can you
Hello,
hear?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good
So,
evening, sir.
yeah, yeah. Good morning. So the timings are changed to 30 minutes earlier. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
usually
Okay.
your session it's around daily it's at 7 o'clock, right? But instead of taking the 7 o'clock, I'm taking the class at 6:30 of your time. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So make sure that from tomorrow onwards you can join the session at 6:30 p.m. IST.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Mm. Done? Have you done this program?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Fine. See, See, here actually this addition function has to receive the two arguments, but I'm not sending. Just remove this x comma y and you can execute now. What happened we'll see. You will get an error or not. What type of error you got it? It's a type error. And so adding addition, missing two arguments required, positional arguments a and b. So actually this addition function, it has to receive the two arguments, but we got an error, right? Okay. See, this kind of situations, you have some default arguments. Okay. You may have some kind of default arguments. So the default arguments we can provide over here, for example, 45 and B also of 56. See, you sent the data is you enter the x data is 34 and you enter the y data is 23, right? But you have to get the 34 plus 23 how much? you have to get the 57. You have to get the 57, right? But we got the 101. Why? The reason is that you are not transfer the x data and y data to your addition function. So by the time, instead of getting an error which is taking the default values, the default value of a is 45 and the default value of the b is it's a 56, so that which is performing the 45 plus 56 is a 101, that 101 which is returning to the res variable, and the res is now it's a 101. Because of that one we are getting the wrong results. Clear? Actually, you have to transfer
Yeah,
the
yeah,
X
yes,
data and
yes.
Y data, but you're not transfer. That's your problem, right? But the programmer is the program is what doing actually instead of stopping execution of your program, which is giving some wrong results. That's it. Okay, but I want to send I want to send the A data, Y data will be the X and X data will be the Y. Okay, so this situation, what I can do, A equal to Y, and now this is the way also we can send it. B data will be X. Okay, so it's not a issue actually. So now instead of A value, or else I'm not sending the okay, B. Okay, I'm not sending I'm not sending A value. I'm just sending only B value. B equal to X, right? That means I'm just sending only X data, and X data will be holding into the B. So whatever the value you entered as X, that it will be the B. So but A value will be the default value only. The default value is 45, right? 45 plus the data of X, the result will be getting RES. So this is the way also you can send it. For example, 100. My X data is 100. My Y data will be, for example, 200. We got the 145. Why 145? Because of X will be holding into the B, and so now B value is 100, A value is the 45. 100 plus 45, 105, 145. So 145 will be holding into the RES variable. This is the way you can send it, single argument also. If you're sending only single argument, so what the argument you are not sent it, so that will be taken as the some default values. So this kind of arguments we are calling it, say, default arguments. Clear?
Yes, yes, yes. Understood.
Okay, so here we need to go for understanding some kind of global variables. Okay, so global variables, by default you can define the variable outside of the function, that it could be the global variable. Okay, so for example, var is 34, and you can one function. Okay, so now what I can do, I can able to go for accessing the that global variable. Global variable means the scope of the program could be throughout of the program. The scope of the variable, scope and lifetime. Okay, lifetime is entire program. Until the program is terminated, it will be alive. That variable could be alive. Okay, so you are defining this particular variable, you are defining the variable outside of the function, so that you can able to access the inside of the function as well. The reason is that it's a default global variable. Okay, this is fine. Now what I can do, I'm creating the two functions, def function 1 and the function 1 having the argument 1. This is the local variable. This is what? Local variable. So the local variable is the scope and lifetime within the function only. What it is? Scope and lifetime within the function. Once the function termination is done, once the function is terminated, the variable also can be deleted automatically. Okay, So here I'm defining the one function. I'm defining the one function, okay, and within the function I'm defining the one variable. So the var1 is the 34. It's a local variable. After that one, you call the function. You called the function, and you are executed the function one also. If you executed the function one, here what happens? You got the name error. You are executed the function one. That means local variable also could be executed. And but what we are doing actually, we are accessing this local variable in another function, so that we are getting the error, name error. Okay. To overcome this kind of situations, now what I can do, we can create the global keyword. So the global variables we can define. Now it's a global variable. Now it's a global variable. Now it's not within the function, within the program. Okay. Now we can execute this one. We are getting an output or not? See, if you're creating the variables outside of the function, by default it's a global variable. But if you're creating the variables inside of the function, which is the local variable, but even though you can create the global variables within the function with help of the global keyword. Clear?
Okay.
Can you please try to execute the statements in your program? Done?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so this is the way you can create local variables, global variables, okay, and functions, and you can create your own logics and other stuff. So now I want to write a small program, write a program, find the given number is prime number or not. Okay. So here I can defining the function is prime. So here it can receive the one number. So let me consider it could be the n, and by default it could be the none. So that means which is not receiving anything. So that what I can do, if n is the none, then what I can, that means which is not receiving any argument, right? So that I can return it. Return means we are using the return. So once the return is executed, even if we have some statements after the return, it won't execute it. Something like break. Okay. And for example, if the number is elif, maybe the number, it may be other data type, right? Okay, is instance n, and it could be non-integer. Okay, not an integer. Okay, not is instant and comma int. That means it can be returns the true if it is the integer, right? Otherwise, if it is returns the true and you're applying the not, so not of true in the sense it's a false. Okay, so if it is for example, if it is the not an integer, if it is the not an integer, it can be written as the false, and you're applying the not so that it can be written as the true. Once if it is not an integer, then I would like to go for returns the none. So instead of writing these two statements, then what I can do, or statement we can write it. So we can write the or statement. Okay, either it could be if you are not sending any data, or else if you are sending the data but it is not an integer, then this situation it can be returns the none. Okay, now we have an else block. Within the else block, so what I feel it, the number n is an integer. Okay, it is an integer, but if it is an integer, but make sure that it could be the more than the, it is not a negative number. Okay, or it could not be in a less than zero, it's not a negative number and zero. Okay, so that number is less than or equal to zero. If number less than or equal to zero, then so you have to return the none. So that means you can apply the or over here. Okay, so this is the way you can customize your program. See guys, what I'm trying to tell you.
If
So maybe your number, your n is not, then it doesn't have any data. Okay, that situation also I can return the none. So n is having some data, but it is not an integer. That situation also I can return the none. Yes, n is an integer. Okay, but that n is less than the zero. That situation also I can return the none. See, here I can write the if, elif, elif, else, right? Four statements I can return it, but I can customize the program. I can reduce the code size. When you're reducing the code size, so that your code could be very simple, as much of as simple. Okay, so here I can write the else block. So no, number of factors, it could be the two or else zero, when it is not in between, if it's not, when you're not included the one and itself, right? So count could be, I don't need count also. For I in range of 1 to, it's not even 1, 2, 2 to number. Okay, 2 to a number. Okay, now what I can do, if in case, if any situation, okay, if my n value which is divisible with I, then what I can return, I can return the false. False means which is not a prime number. If all iterations are done, then else block can be written as the true. That means here return is not executed. Here for loop also, which is not executed any if block. That means here also return is not executed. Finally, I can return the true, because of none of the return is executed. If any one of the return is executed, the last return it won't execute. So this is the way you can write. So here if I can write the underscore underscore name, okay, underscore underscore equal to underscore underscore me underscore underscore, and here I can call the is prime. So here I can print the, okay, is prime. I'm not sending any data. Then this situation which is printing the none or not.
Mm.
And here I can is prime I can give you over here. Okay, your data is it's a float number. Okay, both are none or not. And so is prime, and I can give the data, but it is a negative number. So this situation also which is the written none or not. So
Yes.
if it is the more than the zero, then that situation it can be returns the
If you are giving the fraction numbers,
here it is returns the true. Wrong. When equal to 1, then return false. Yeah. See, you can enter any number now. If I can enter the 2, so here I can enter the 2, here 3, here 4. Okay, here 2 and 3 it could be the prime numbers, right? So that I can enter the, I can print the 2 and 3 it could be the true, 2 and 3 it could be the true, but 4 it could be the false. Okay.
mm.
Yep. So this
If
is
you
the
are providing the integer number, sorry, fraction.
yeah fraction. But the reason is that here is instance
Uh,
and comma integer. So is instance can be written as the true if n is the integer. Okay, but I'm applying the not, right. So here a float, here n value is the float. Is instance float, is instant integer, it's a false. So not of false, it's a true, right? Not of false, it's a true, right? So when it
mhm,
is the true, then which is returns the none. See guys, here it is a float. So is instance is the function, it can be written as the false. But for that one, I'm applying the not. Not of false, it's a true.
mhm,
This entire thing, it could be one condition.
mhm.
This is one condition. And this is one condition. I have the three conditions I written with the R keywords. Yeah. So that's for today's session. Hopefully you understood and keep practice. Open Hacker Rank and click on the functions and create your own functions and try to implement your own functions. Okay. Yep. Thank you guys. Bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to
Okay,
be
thank you.
take the screenshot?
No, you are uploading, correct?
Yes, sir. I can upload.
Yeah. Thank you.